Scientists and medical professionals routinely perform calculations. Many calculations, such as dosage calculations, are critical to the health and well-being of patient. Most common type of calculations in science is a unit conversion, which means turning a measurement given in one unit into its equivalent in another unit. Unit conversions can be done between two metric units or between metric units and an English unit. For example, converting your body weight from pounds to kilogram is an English to metric unit conversion. So pounds to kilograms, that is an example of English to metric unit conversion. Unit conversion and many other calculations that we will be performing are reliably solved using a process known as dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis is a process for solving mathematical problems that focuses on the units, that is, the dimensions in the problem. That's why it's known as dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis is an extremely easy and reliable method which help us avoid making many common calculation errors. This process involves 5 steps, and if we follow these 5 steps exactly, we will always get a correct answer. Let me explain with the help of an example. So for example, the problem states that we have to convert 0.500 grams into milligram. Both grams and milligrams are metric units. So therefore, this kind of conversion is the dimensional analysis in which metric units are converted. So step number 1, identify given and asked for unit. So in our problem, step 1, so given unit is grams and asked unit is milligrams. Step 2, identify the conversion between given and asked for unit. So what it means is that we need to know what is the relationship or equality between the given and asked for unit. So given unit is grams and asked unit is milligrams. We know that prefix for milli is 10 to the negative 3. So in other words, 1 milligram is equals to 1 milli is 10 to the negative 3 grams. So this is the relationship or the conversion between milligrams and grams. Step number 3, express the conversions as two conversion factor. So now from each conversion, there are two conversion factors. So the simple answer is, how do we write the conversion factor? It's the left hand side divided by right hand side. What do I mean? So I mean is whatever is on the left hand side, the entire thing, number, units, everything divided by the right hand side of the conversion. So that's one conversion factor. So it means first conversion factor is 1 milligram divided by 1 times 10 to the negative 3 grams. That's one of them. The other one would be right side over the left hand side. So in other words, 1 times 10 to the negative 3 grams divided by 1 milligram. Remember the entire thing, units, numbers, everything. So that's the two conversion factors. So each equality statement will lead to two conversion factors. So write down both of them. Step number 4. Step 4 is multiply given by conversion factor that cancels the given unit. Okay, so what is the given unit? So given unit is grams. So in other words, the given quantity is 0.500 grams. We need to multiply this with a conversion factor which cancels it. So if we multiply with this conversion factor, let's for example 1 0.10 to the negative 3 grams over milligram. So gram is on top, gram is on top, so they don't cancel. So this doesn't work. So it means that's the incorrect way. So we can't use this one. So it means we have to use this conversion factor. Remember, one conversion factor will work, the other one will not. Whichever works, that depends on what unit you want to cancel. So because we want to cancel grams, so use that conversion factor where gram is in the opposite side or under or in the denominator. So if we use this, so 1 milligram is on top and 1 times 10 to the negative 3 grams is on the bottom. So now grams and grams cancel because they are opposite. And then perform the multiplication to get the answer. So step 5 is solve and round to the correct number of sig figs. So step 5 is we just gonna solve it. So when we solve it, first my calculator, let me use my calculator. So so my calculator is showing me 500 milligram. Now we need to report to the correct sig fig. So sig fig comes from whatever the given sig figs are. So in given, we are given with, so the given sig figs were, given value was 0.500 grams. So if we count, so these are 3 sig figs. Leading 0 does not count, but these 2 zeros do count. So 3 sig figs. Therefore our answer, although my calculator showed us the answer to be 500 grams, or sorry, 500 milligram, because I need to report my answer to 3 sig figs. If I leave it like that, right now my answer has only 1 sig fig. So therefore it will be incorrect. So in order to convert this 1 sig fig to 3 sig fig, the simplest way is put a decimal. If I put a decimal at the end, now it has 3 sig fig. And that is the correct answer. In some problems, uh, we may have to perform a metric conversion, which may involve 2 or more conversion factor. The basic steps are similar with the slight change in the step number 4. So in step number 4, we set up a calculation using conversion factor which cancels the first given unit and then cancel the intermediate unit. I'll explain this with the help of an example in the next slide. Okay, so let's solve this problem. So in this problem, we are performing a dimensional analysis from centimeters to kilometers. And remember, there is no direct conversion from centimeter to kilometer. So in order to perform this one, so we have to convert centimeters to meters first, and then from meters to kilometers. So it means it is a multi-step problem. But the 5 steps are similar to solve this one. So let's go over these 5 steps one by one. So first step is write down whatever given unit is given to us. So the given unit is centimeter. So the value given to us is 78,000 centimeter. I will avoid this comma when I write, and I'll just count the sig figs right now. So it's given as 2 sig figs. This is important because our final answer depends on these sig figs. So because the given is 2 sig figs, so our final answer should also have 2 sig figs. And then next is, what are we asked for? So we want to calculate number of kilometers. So this is what we want to know. So step number 2 is we need to write the relationship between these given units and asked unit. We don't know the direct relationship between kilometers and centimeters, but we do know an intermediate. So 1 centimeter is equals to 1 times 10 to the We can just avoid the one is unnecessary. So centimeter, so prefix centi is 10 to the negative 2, so centimeter is equals to 10 to the negative 2 meters. Similarly, prefix kilo means 1000, so we can just write 1000 or 10 to the positive 3, whichever way you like. So kilometer is 1000 meters. Now we have two equality statements, and each equality statement leads to two conversion factors, and now we're going to write these two conversion factors. So conversion factors are essentially left hand side divided by right hand side and vice versa. So from here, so we can write centimeter divided by 10 to the negative 2 meters, or 10 to the negative 2 meters divided by centimeter. So there are two possibilities, either left side divided by right or right divided by left. Similarly, kilometers to meter will also give us two conversion factor. It will be kilometer divided by 1000 meter, or 1000 meter divided by kilometer. Okay, so each statement gave us two conversion factors. In total, we have four conversion factors. Next step is step number 4. We need to set up this equation in which we start with the given. So given is centimeter, or 78,000 centimeter. That's what it was given. And we multiply with the conversion factor where the centimeter unit cancels. So only way to cancel centimeter is we multiply with something where centimeter is down here, and which is this one, 10 to the negative 2 meter. So if the centimeter is cancelled here, so now we are left with meter. So meter is our intermediate. So next step is we need to go from meter to kilometer, and here we need to multiply with the conversion factor either from these two. Which one? We're gonna multiply the one where meter gets cancelled. Now in order to cancel meter, meter has to be down here. So only conversion factor which works is this one, right? So 1000 meter and a kilometer. So now meter cancels with meter. So we are left with only kilometer as answer. Step number 5 is just multiply all of them, and divide and figure out the answer. So when we multiply all these numbers, so the correct answer will come out to be, let me use my calculator. I don't want to get the incorrect answer. Okay, so when I use my calculator, so final answer comes out to be 0.78 kilometers. And it's already in two sig figs, and that's all I wanted because my starting value is there. So that's how you solve a multi-step problem. Let's solve another multi-step dimensional analysis problem. So again, we will solve it using 5 steps. So step number 1, let's first look at the problem. So problem is, if a patient receives 25 deciliter blood, how many milliliter blood has the patient received? In other words, we need to convert deciliters to milliliters. Again, there is no direct relationship from going from deci to milli. So what we have to do is we need to convert deciliters to liters and then liters to milliliters. So two step. Also, if you note, if you notice that the given value has two sig figs. So remember that, because at the end our answer should also have two sig figs. So step number 1. So in this, first you write what is given to us and what do you want to find, or what is asked for. So given to us is 25 deciliter. That's the unit given to us. And what do we want to find? We want to find number of milliliters. Step 2. In step 2, we need to write the equality or the relationship between these two quantities. So first we'll write deciliters to liters. The prefix deci is 1/10, or 1 deciliter is 10 to the negative 1, or you can also write 0.1 liter. And liters to milliliter is 1 milliliter is equals to 10 to the negative 3 liters. So these are the two relationships. Step 3 is write down the conversion factors. So from this one, we're gonna get two conversion factors. So one is 1 deciliter, where deciliter is on top and liters on bottom, or 1 liter on top and deciliter in the bottom. Here the two choices are 1 milliliter over 10 to the negative 3 liter, or 10 to the negative 3 liter divided by 1 milliliter. Step 4 is arrange them in such a way that starting from the given value, so given value is 25 deciliter multiplied by a conversion factor which cancels the deciliter. So only conversion factor which cancels the deciliter is this one. So this goes down here. So we'll write 1 deciliter 0.01 liter. So deciliter cancels with deciliter. So now we have liters here. So next is we need to multiply with a conversion factor which cancels a liter. So only conversion factor which works here is this one. So that goes down here. So it will be 1 milliliter divided by 10 to the negative 3 liters. If you have done this correctly, then your final unit will automatically be the milliliter, the one which you are looking for. So let's see. So deciliter cancels with deciliter, liter with liter, and leftover unit is milliliter, and that's the one we wanted. So it means it is an assurance that everything is done correctly. So that's the beauty of dimensional analysis. You can never go wrong. If you make a mistake, you will know. Because if you make a mistake, your final unit will not match with the unit what has been asked for. Step 5 is just perform the calculation and report your answer in correct sig fig. So if I perform this calculation using my trusty calculator, let me see what I get. So 25 times 0.1 times 1, so this gives me 2.5 divided by 10 to the negative 3 milliliter. And when I do this one, so this entire thing comes out to be 2500 milliliter, and it's 2 sig figs, and that's the correct answer. Let's try another problem. In this problem, we are converting 285 pints of blood to liters. So pints to liters. Now there is no direct relationship between pints. As you can see, pint to quart is given, and then from quarts we can go to liters. These two are already given to us. So in this problem, we are going from English unit to metric unit, but the process is exactly the same. So starting with step 1. So step 1 is whatever is given to us and whatever we want to find. So given to us is 285 pints. I'm just going to write PT Yes, and we are looking to convert it into number of liters. And the given value has 3 sig figs. Just remember, because we will report our answer in same number of sig figs. So step 2 is write the equality statements which are already given to us. So 2 pints is equals 1 quart and 1.06 quarts equals 1 liter. So these are the two statements. Step 3 is you write conversion factor. Each equality statement will give us two conversion factors. Again, the process is same. Right, left side divided by right side, 2 pint on top and quart in the bottom, or 1 quart on top and pint in the bottom. So these two are the possibilities from here. This one will give us these two conversion factors, or now step number 4 is starting from the given value. So given value is 285 pint, multiply with a conversion factor which cancels the pint unit. So only conversion factor which gonna cancel is this one. So it means this conversion factor goes here. So 2 pints down here and 1 quart up here. So as you can see, the pints and pints are on the opposite side, so they cancel each other out. So now we have quart. So next is you find the quart unit in the other side which cancels it. So only unit which gonna cancel is this one. So this conversion factor goes here. So 1.06 quart down here and 1 liter up here. And now the quart gets cancelled with quart. Let me just write it one more time with more refinement. So 285 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1 liter divided by 2 multiplied by 1.06. So I just removed the cancelled part and wrote it again. And step number 5 is that you just multiply and divide and find the answer in correct number of sig fig. So if I use my calculator, so my answer comes out to be, 285 times 1 times 1 divided by 2 divided by 1.06, and the answer comes out to be 134.43396 liters, right? So we need to report the correct sig fig. So correct sig fig is 3, so it means only these 3. The next one is less than 5, so we can drop it off as such. So answer is 135 liters.